everyone, welcome to Small Business Fridays, a chit-chat with community members of SME 100 Africa. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, what is this community in SME 100 Africa that we're always going on and on about? It is basically a platform for various entrepreneurs to come together, and we give them one thing, access. Access in all its intricacies. Access to finance, access to more visibility for their businesses, access to tips, business tips that will help scale their businesses and grow their businesses. So without further ado, let's get right into today's show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. Today with us, we have a very special guest, Saidu Mubarak, who is the CEO of DMX Logistics. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good once more.
All right. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us more about you and your business.
Okay. As you said, my name is Mubarak Saidu.
Okay.
I founded DMX Logistics and I have several other businesses.
Nice.
DMX Auto Garages in Abuja.
Okay.
We paint cars and pimp cars. Manage a school, Smartbeam International School, secondary and primary school, Smartbeam Sports Arena, a sports center in Oloye, and several other pioneering businesses.
So you're in jack of all trades. You're just dipping your hands in different.
Entrepreneurship is a passion for me.
Wow.
I was working and I just decided to resign, not because I could not pursue a career.
Wow. You just decided that this is what I want to do. Was there any pushing? Were you like, I don't want to work under anyone? Was there anything that motivated you to just want to be your own boss and do your own thing?
I knew I always wanted to be my own boss.
Yes.
But I wanted to work first. So while I was working,
Yeah.
I planned to work for 2 years plus.
Yes.
But after a while, I cut it short because I read 2 books.
You read 2 books.
So I was used to reading a lot of foreign books.
Okay.
And I read 2 Nigerian business books, and that was what changed everything. That made me decide.
2 Nigerian books.
So
changed you.
I was traveling to Abuja.
Yes.
On the flight. I bought 2 books.
Okay.
Akin Alabi's first book,
Okay.
and Fagbure's book, Working on a Dream.
Okay.
And Akin Alabi, Big Business, Small Money.
Wow.
I can't remember the exact title, but that was it. And immediately I read those books, after that weekend, I told my parents, I'm not working anymore.
Wow.
They thought I was running mad. They thought I was crazy. It took a lot of conviction. My company increased my salary because I finished my graduate training, but I still refused.
Yes.
Because I noticed it was something that came naturally. Yes, I started making money at a very young age.
Yes.
And I did a lot of different things. I was always the jack of all trades.
Yeah. Okay.
DMX Auto Garages started more than 8 years ago.
Yes.
Without having a workshop. I go to a golf club with a friend of mine, Sunday, is my business partner, when we started as AMK Customs. We go there, we get your car, we tell you we're going to paint your car. We take it to our painter then, and we paint it and make our money and move on.
Wow.
So that's how we started. So, and because I've made money without cash,
Yes.
I know a lot of people look for access to finance.
Okay.
Yes, I've been lucky with finance to an extent, but I never chase finance. Most businesses I've started, I always test them without finance. So that's one of the reasons that I think a lot of people should change. Yes, it's good to ask for finance, but before you go ask someone for finance, you should have tested it yourself. If you can run a business without, even if it's not at the scale you want, if you can run a business without cash, it's not all businesses, but at least some level of businesses, like if you can run without as much cash as you think you need, you can actually run that, you can actually ask for cash. Imagine I come to you,
Okay.
I need money,
Yes.
and I tell you, I need 2 million naira, this idea is wonderful. You ask me, okay, how do you know it's wonderful? I've not tested the idea.
Yes.
Idea is anything.
Yes.
The day you test the idea is when you know whether something will work. So imagine I tell you, I have this idea, I could not afford it. I started with a small scale, and with the small scale, I've been able to make X, 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 and X. But I need more money because I'm sure that there's an opportunity. Why? Because I've done it.
Wow.
So it's easier to give me money.
That's true. That's actually definitely something for people to think about, because some people just come up with an idea. It's not necessarily feasible at first, but they just say, okay, I need the money to do it. But like you said, you just have to test it out, see if it's going to work, and then move from there. So how has your journey been so far? When did DMX Logistics start up?
December 2018. So, but I officially just documented as January 2019.
Okay. So how's the journey been so far?
As usual, we're in Nigeria. So it's been a challenging environment and a learning environment. For logistics, I was very lucky to have few friends that started the business before me. I found them in logistics sector. Jan Tugidi, Kike and Ama, Zoom Logistics. They don't know, I learned a lot from them. So I studied everything about them. Those are the people that have done the business for at least 5 years before I started. So, and they were at the level at which I knew I was going to pursue. So I studied them, went for their classes, learned a lot from them, made friends with them, and I followed similar models, just differentiated myself with what I call the DMX solution mindset. And that's all.
So did you pick logistics because you already had people around you who had done it, so it was easy to just maybe shadow them, find out how they did things before you, and then just make yours sort of different and better, or it was just something that came passionate to you?
I didn't pick logistics.
Okay.
So I told you I read 2 books.
Yes.
I made up my mind I was going to resign.
Okay.
When I told my boss I was going to resign, he told me no, I should not make up my mind that fast, that I should collect leave of absence to be sure. So I collected 2 months leave of absence. And after the first month I was sure. But I didn't know what business to do. The only motivation I had was I didn't want to go back to paid employment.
All right.
And I wanted to employ people. That was the only 2 motivations I had.
Yes.
So while I was thinking, what should I do? My sister my sister's business is craft house.
Okay.
So she was running the business and she had a particular bike which she uses on the side for her business and for logistics.
Yes.
So on my birthday, I decided what am I doing in my life? Come with your bike, let me start. I never knew about anything logistics. I never had friends. I didn't even do a research. I didn't have a name. I just told her, tell your rider, his name was Unduka, tell him to come. I think I'll start this business.
Wow.
And that's how we started. And I noticed there was a market. It was not planned. I never went to buy a bike. I didn't know anything about logistics. I've never tried it before. She just tried it and she told me a lot about it. But she said she is a very crazy business, that she can't handle it.
Yes.
So I told her, bring the bike. I started with Unduka. And on the first week, I saw that there was a market. I started studying. That was when I started researching.
Okay.
On my birthday, when I started.
Wow.
That was when I started researching, started thinking of a name and everything.
So what was your first delivery?
My first delivery was for my sister, obviously.
Yes, okay.
And she gave me customers. And then I used to hijack customers. So my sister gave me contacts of businesses around her that she uses. Early in the morning. So one of the motivations that drove me out of when I left my work was that I was going to use the same time. I used to work late at night and I used to wake up early. So I made up my mind I was going to use the same hours that I was using at the bank is what I'm going to use for my work. So I wake up as early as 6 a.m., dress up. It was in my house, not an office. Sit in my table. The first thing I did in my house before I resigned was an office table and a chair.
Yes, that's nice.
I'll sit on my table and I'm going to call the rider, what should do, and I'll call all the customers. Sorry, there's a new logistics company. I know your logistics company is charging 1,000, but I'm going to charge you 900. Can I come pick it up now? They'll say, somebody's coming. I say, ma, my rider will come to you now. That was how I was hijacking deliveries.
That is such a brilliant idea, and definitely something that, it just shows that you want something, so you're willing to put in the work. Like how you said, you wake up the usual times, and the time that you said that works for you do when you were going to the office. So you incorporated that in your own business, and clearly it's working out for you. So far, what would you say the biggest challenge has been?
Government.
Business, the government.
Regulations, crazy regulations. I'll give you an example of papers.
Yes.
I think when I started, the documents we paid 25,000. As of now, for documents that I don't know the reason why we have such amount of documents. We're paying about 50,000 or so, or 40. Now we have the government threatening us with NIPOST already, with 250,000 naira. And I think we are not having the government think seriously about helping SMEs.
Yes.
They are killing SMEs instead of growing SMEs, and SMEs are the foundation of any economy.
Yes.
Let's imagine how many people do I employ. In DMX alone, I employ, because we have Lagos, Abuja, Ilorin, I employ a minimum of about 12 to 13. These are 12 different people making money for themselves and helping the economy. So let's assume how many other entrepreneurs are employing more people that way. So immediately you now say, because of a particular NIPOST, if I cannot afford it, I close down that business. Those people are out there, why won't there be crime?
Yes.
So actually, it's just the government. A lot of Nigerians are really pushing against governments to get things done because we don't have options. It's not like before when our parents had easy jobs out there and everything. Nothing is easy anymore. And so everything, the biggest challenge I have is government.
Yes. So would you say, the pandemic was last year. So would you say that it's helped your business, or, your business suffered some setbacks?
Pandemic was a sad event for everyone.
Yes, most definitely.
But I was a COVID-19 winner. Wow. Logistics is one of the winning sectors during logistics, during COVID-19 pandemic. So that pandemic actually helped my business. Because as at that time, everything was stalled down, and I created a structure in January before the pandemic. I never knew a pandemic was coming. That made my business more automated.
Wow.
Not like automated with an app, but automated in the process.
Okay.
So my riders worked on commissions, and immediately pandemic started, I only shut down for 2 days to restructure my.
Wow.
I never shut down throughout pandemic, apart from the 2 days I shut down to replan before they announced the lockdown. So we made quite a lot of money during that period.
Okay. All right. So so far, what would you say is the best thing about running your own business?
The freedom. Not freedom that you don't get to do anything, but the freedom to think. The freedom to decide what you want to do, and the freedom to chase what you can. So unlike when I'm working for someone, I encourage people to work for people because not everybody can be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is actually more of a spirit. Yes, sometimes people go into entrepreneurship because there's no option, which is what is happening in Nigeria. Okay. But if you have the spirit of entrepreneurship, you will know. It's more of a spirit because you want that freedom. You don't want someone directing you here. You want to direct people. And that's where it comes as a spirit. So that's actually what I enjoy, the freedom, where I can move on from one place to another. I love traveling. If I'm working somewhere, I can't travel.
Okay.
And with entrepreneurship now, I travel a lot because I have business in 3 cities.
Yes. So you found a structure that works for you and is suited to your own liking.
Yes. Nice. And one advice, generally, this is just random, is I've actually realized, I was talking to Charles earlier today, I've actually realized businesses that follow a structure last longer and would always win, no matter how bad the economy is. Yes, it may not work except everything shuts down. Yes. And I'll give you an example of a business.
Okay.
Sorry, let me pause you there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So let me give you an example of a business that follows business structure, Tikafor. Okay. So Shop with Tikafor, she's been partnering with me for more than 3 years. Yes. And when she started, she was giving me 2 deliveries, 3 deliveries. Okay. And now I can tell you minimum 50 Lagos deliveries every single day.
Every day.
And we discussed a lot. And I've told her to try other things, which she refused. And when I tell her to try the structured thing, that's what she chooses. Yes. So she follows anything that is structured. Okay. And now is automating processes and is making a lot of money. Okay. Let me give you another example of what happened to her last 2 weeks. Okay. On Sunday nights, by 5:30 p.m., our staff had not updated the website. Oh, wow. So she had not sold, and she was telling me, you may not have deliveries tomorrow. By 6, the staff updated the website. Nice. Before 7 a.m. the next day, she had almost $200.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's where businesses miss it out. They say, no, you don't need the website, you don't need that. You have to push people to use the website. Yes. And you have to continue to make the website easy. Right now, which human being will respond to $200 within a Sunday night? Even if it's during the week, how many human beings do you need to respond to $200? Yes, and a lot of businesses miss this when they have to create a structure. You may start small, but over time start automating. We have Flutterwave shop, we have Paystack shops. So even if you don't have a website, try to automate what you can. Yes. Even me, I've not fully automated, but I'm working on automation. Yes. Because at some point you need some level of automation while you have the human interaction as the customer service.
Yes. So that's a really good advice, actually. And I'm sure every entrepreneur would be honored to hear that kind of advice. So with the level of insecurity that's going on in Nigeria, would you say that this has it affected your business in any way?
Yes, of course.
Okay, how? Do let us know.
Like now in the Southeast, we run nationwide deliveries.
Okay.
So now deliveries are getting difficult
Okay.
when we're delivering to the Southeast. So definitely it's going to affect because we're moving goods from one point to another. Imagine I'm moving goods within Lagos and all of a sudden they're fighting.
Yes.
How do you expect me to get that item there? So it's always an issue when there's insecurities.
That's true, and that's definitely something that we need to treat urgently in this
Back to
country,
government.
actually. Back to the government.
I'll
as
tell
we
you,
said.
this personal,
Okay.
not to anyone, but every country has their own challenges. A lot of maybe God is just doesn't know how to share everything in proportion. Some countries have natural disasters, right?
That's true.
Where we have human disaster. So it's human disaster we have. It's just leadership. Our only problem is leadership.
Yes.
It's just human.
So let me ask you a question. So obviously you're a member of the SME 100 Africa community. So in what way has the platform helped you and your business?
A lot of ways.
Okay.
So when I need something as an SME, I may not have a lot of information.
Okay.
So one of the first places I run to is SME 100. So I ask, I need an insurance company.
Okay.
I need a bank, I need a loan. I've never asked for loan, but at least insurance, HMO, and a lot more things. Maybe I need a business to partner with for something. I need companies to run deliveries with me. There was a time SME 100 used to push a lot of deliveries to me when we had a WhatsApp group. So, and from there I had some customers that are still with me. So there were, while business was going down, I've had SME 100 push me back up.
Wow, that's actually lovely to hear. So, what advice would you give to someone that wants to start out as an entrepreneur? Not necessarily in the logistics business, but just as an entrepreneur. Like, what advice would you give to them? Like, have this in mind.
First, I'll just give this. You're in Nigeria.
Yes.
Focus on profit.
Okay.
I know a lot of people say, I want to do this business, I'll make my money later. First of all, no matter how good, bad the business is, focus on profits. Even if it's 10 naira you want to make as profit, it's better than making a loss. Don't make a loss. You're in a country where inflation catches up with you. So any business you do, at least should be above inflation. But if you cannot get any business that way, start with something, make profits. There's no point running a business that is not profitable, except you're running a tech company. Tech companies are the only sector or few other sectors that you set up things and be hoping for one day that you will blow.
Yes. Okay.
Or maybe you're an artist. Okay. Those are the only sectors where you can create all those methods. It works as that. But you want to buy and sell, and now say, let me make loss first. And this thing. Have you forgotten that you are going to buy another thing the next time?
Yes, that's true.
Maybe with services, even logistics may make a bit of loss sometimes, but with products, as much as possible, make profit, except something happens. And with starting up as an entrepreneur, there are people that are naturally entrepreneurs. Those ones will easily excel.
Okay.
But when you're not an entrepreneur, it's also easy. When you don't have any option, seek advice. Don't be someone that has formed too much in your head, no matter the age you are. If you want to be, so listen to people, try out different methods. Don't be you have to be dynamic.
Yes.
Because the business environment changes. So when you listen to point A, follow your competitors, follow what is working in your country or in your environment. Don't say, I want to bring something magical here, except you have investors. When you have money, you cannot bring something, I want to change the world.
Okay.
But right now, me, personally, I don't believe I'm trying to change the world. I just want to run a business where it's profitable, I can pay my staff salaries, and I can make an impact in my society.
That's actually a brilliant advice. That's a very good advice actually for entrepreneurs. So another question I have is, what advice would you give to yourself? Like, just rewind 10 years back. What advice would you give to yourself then?
Nothing. I don't think I've really done anything wrong. I think I've been lucky with my last 10 years. I've done everything almost at the right time. Wow. I did my schooling at the right time, finished my chartered accountancy at the right time. Okay. Did my master's at the right time, started business while I was in university. Yes. And I've tried a lot of things, and that's actually what I'm happy for. One of the things I'm happy for is that I started a lot of things at a very young age, so I could learn from my mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes, obviously. So all those mistakes are what I'm enjoying now.
Yes, that's really nice to hear, actually. Would you, what government policy do you think can be put in place right now that will help your business?
I don't see, okay, for my business, they have to sort out these night posts.
Okay.
Then in general, I can't say a particular policy, but the policy has to be, yes, government is trying to open up CAC registrations and all that. But when I register a business and I want to run the business, let's say a farm, and I'm facing all these challenges, it's also difficult. You've allowed me to open the business, but at the end of the day, I can't run the business. So it's just general, more policies that help entrepreneurs scale. Just like what SME 100 is doing. Imagine the government is actually pushing this, not the one of where they just watermark everything to look like they're doing it. I mean, real push. Countries like Dubai is doing it. Dubai is pushing a lot of entrepreneurs to their country, even when you're from anywhere. So if you have small SMEs, they're employing people. Not only Dangote will employ.
That's true.
So everybody will employ, and at the end of the day, you're out. Even if you don't employ anyone, you're employing yourself. Let's say I'm an educator and I'm teaching people. I'm also employing myself, so I don't need to add to the unemployment on the ground, and that will lead to less crime.
Yes. Okay. So that's. I hope someone in the government is actually looking out, because that's a really good point that you made. Several points that you made, actually. So how are you able? How were and how are, because you're currently in the logistics business, how are you able to make your mark in the industry that you're in, despite it being saturated? Because logistics companies are opening up left, right, and center. So how did you make DMX different?
Taking advantage of opportunities. So I had few opportunities to partner with the right people, and I took advantage, and structure.
Wow.
Because of the structure is what makes you different.
Yes.
So when I started, I never knew I was going to do nationwide deliveries, imports, exports. I didn't know about all those things. I just took my sister's bike. I never planned all that. But as I started looking at all those things and I was learning from people, I structured my business in a way that works for me. I didn't try to, once I noticed that something does not work for me, even if it may satisfy the customer, yes, it's good to satisfy the customer, but at the end of the day, I'm losing money. Immediately, I always end that. If I cannot find a way to continue to make money while satisfying a customer, I cut it off. Let's say same day delivery within Lagos. If you don't give me a delivery before 10 a.m., I won't take it, even if I have no deliveries. Because immediately I take it, I'm breaking the law. So just as little as that, that's the only way to, because if you give me your deliveries before 10, there's a high probability that it will be delivered. Let's even assume it's not delivered. I can easily call you and tell you that it's not delivered. And it's just structure.
Yes, so structure is really good. And that's really amazing. It's really been an interesting and insightful conversation that we've had today. So if people want to, reach you on social media, or you said you're working on getting automated, right? So where exactly can people contact you? What's your social media handle?
Instagram.
Okay.
Bizguru Africa, Bizguru Africa.
Yes. So just on Instagram. So you can just go on Instagram and send them a DM. Do you have anything that you need to deliver nationwide?
Nationwide, to any country in the world, over 200 countries. We import from UK, USA, and hopefully Canada soon. And we help you process payments to any country. Maybe you want to make order, your Nigerian cards are not working. We help you make payments and ship them.
Wow, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for having this talk with us today. And don't forget, if you want to, you can go over to his Instagram and just send him a DM if you have anything that you need to deliver anywhere. And to round this up, I would just like to just show you an example of how, he has said so many things today about being an entrepreneur. It's never too late for you to start anything. If you're going to go into a business, make sure that you have already tested it out, actually. Like he said, make sure you test it out. Know that it's actually feasible, so you don't waste too much of your time. Make sure that you're always learning, always reading, because things are always changing. You have to move with the flow of things. If not, your business will be left behind. And do not forget to always have a business structure. So if you would like to join our SME 100 Africa community, all you have to do is check us on all social media platforms at SME 100 Africa, and don't forget to join our community. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.